Thank you, and thank you for the honor of going to speak to this wonderful audience. Well, when you talk about coalition, the first is to ask, coalition for what? If the coalition is for good governance, to tackle the issues affecting Nigeria, I agree on it, and I still think it can be achieved. However, when we talk about coalition, we have to first examine people's records, starting from their background, their competence, their capacity, their commitment and character to be able to drive that new process. If we have somebody who I'm convinced will do that work, of course, yes, we're already talking with each other. How do we come together? Today, the most important thing we need here is unity. But that will be unity of purpose. Unity. Well, I subscribe and I maintain that you need to remove subsidy. Mismanagement of the proceeds should not be the reason for not removing it. What we should have done is that when we remove subsidy, we would have given the people alternative usage for the subsidy. What we have today is that that removal and the attendant resources being recovered is also being mismanaged and stolen. For example, we have received, according to them, 16 trillion. We will, I said it before, go to my manifesto and say I will remove subsidy. We'll do it in an organized manner, and whatever we recover will be invested appropriately. And I just give you an example because you have no time. Let's say you remove subsidy and you decided number one thing a nation needs to develop is health. And today our health is very poor, our primary health care is very poor, where we are now have more maternal and child issues than countries like India. Assuming, let me use 5%. You said that they saved 15.8 trillion. So call it about 16 trillion. So 5% of that is just about 800 billion. And if you decide today, our biggest problem is issue of primary health care. If you decide to put primary health care in each ward, just each ward, in each ward, today it will cost you, from our own studies, an average of 100 million naira for one. We have 8,809 wards. Call it 10,000. I use 100 million naira for each. It will cost you 800 billion.
Okay.
If you decide today, we have issue now with kidney dialysis. We have over 25 million Nigerians have kidney issues. To build a kidney center, you need 200 million. And we need about 1,000 centers when we have less than 200. We need about 5,000 machines when we have less than 800. It costs you 200 million to do a center, and it costs you exactly 10 million to buy one machine. So you need 250 to set up a 5,000 machine center, 1,000 center, and it's only 250 million times 1,000 is 250 billion. You still have 14.7 billion. So it's what you use the money for. That is the problem.
Yeah, but
we will use the money in an organized manner.
But just to stay with
or you save it. If they have saved the money and decide to do like any other country, we would have had $10 billion added to our sovereign wealth fund, which if you add it today, we'll be getting about $10 billion every month, which we can use for purpose. So don't say because people use the money they're supposed to utilize very well for party, and you say no, we should bring back. What I've said is that people in government have asked Nigerians to fast.
Okay.
They cannot be feasting when Nigerians are fasting.
Yeah, but Governor Peter Obi, the government will tell, please, I'd like to make a passionate appeal Those of us who are standing here, we are recording emergency situations. People are collapsing behind. Please, we plead with you, if you can create space so we don't record.
Well, it's a very simple, for me, we have a very serious insecurity problem, which there's a lot of things people can look at. But my own method of looking at it is first, you need to do a comprehensive overhaul or study of our strategy to security problem today. You need to audit the architecture that is driving that strategy and look at security from human security. So if you are going to deal with the issue of security, you have to do it from two areas. A, you need to look at the issue of poverty. Start tackling poverty and joblessness. The more you put people out of poverty, the more you reduce insecurity. It is a known fact everywhere. Two, when you now do that, you now look at the criminality, some of which my brother has mentioned, and said on issue of your resources, when you start dealing with the issue of corruption or how people get their resources, you again give it a blow, and you need to look at your alignment between your security forces, staff them properly, make sure they are taken care of properly, and support them. With that, you will address insecurity considerably. Also, supporting local vigilantes. I can tell you, as governor in Anambra State, we pay directly for an office of the governor for vigilantes in each community, what each community pick up, arm their people, and that was how we were able to manage insecurity. And that you can do nationally. Deal with the local communities. They know those who are criminals among them. But you need to pull people out of poverty. You need to realign your strategy. You need to support communities. You will reduce it drastically. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Where do you stand?
Well, if you had said police debate did not start today, it actually was mentioned when we were in office. Like he said, I believe that every level of government to the community should have a form of their own security system. It's not whether you call it state or police or anything. They should have their own security system. Like it's been mentioned here, issue of kidnapping. Everybody knows that as governor, if you kidnap somebody, you the kidnapper and your house will go down. So it's a very simple thing. We had a law to back it up. So every level of government should be able to have their own form of security system, including the community. That's why I said I bought vehicles for over 200 communities, including the markets, including the churches in Anambra State, to provide their own security. Not the way they are doing it now, as if it's a gift. It should be a properly articulated system that is properly supported and funded, so we don't create another arm that will become terrorists. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Doctors were on strike for 13 months. The only thing doctors have never said is why they went on strike. If anybody here can tell me why doctors went on strike, then I'll defend it. When I became governor, there was no single school of nursing accredited in Anambra State. Our university did not have a teaching hospital. Our hospitals were not accredited. And I decided after several months to deal with our doctors When I put money in general hospitals, they transfer it to somewhere else. And I decided, wait a minute, and I decided I'm going to work with the agencies, schools owned by the churches, hospitals owned by the churches and everything. And I started funding them like ENU and everything. The judges said, I'm supporting private sector. And we had a disagreement. If the doctors were very effective, in 13 months, there was no mass death. That means something is missing. Because after 13 months, we are still alive.
Okay.
And they were on strike. Today, go to Anambra State. We have the highest number of schools of nursing, midwifery, than any other state. We have three teaching hospitals. 3 teaching hospitals from our own university teaching hospital to Iyenu, to Boromeo, that are teaching hospital today because of that decision I took. So it's very simple. If I get into government, anytime the sectors will annoy, if annoying them means that we will do well, we will do that.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, we're only told to answer. We are going to answer the questions that are direct to us. The first is somebody who talked about poverty. Nigeria, let me start by telling you, Nigeria is not a poor country. Nigeria is poor because those of us who are leaders are stealing the wealth of Nigeria and driving Nigeria into poverty. We can decide Nigeria is poor today because it's not a productive country. Somebody came here and talked about hunger. Yes, today Nigeria is one of the hungriest countries of the world. We got worse in the past 3 years, where we now move from where we are to 109 in the hungriest country. Some of you might not know that in the past 2 years, Ukraine, that is at war, gave us grain to fight hunger. We are hungry because Nigeria is not a productive country. If we decide today to invest in critical areas of development, which include pulling people out of poverty, by investing in agriculture, we can make more money from agriculture than we make from oil. Countries are doing it. And I'm going to use 1, 2, 3 countries around us to show example. Today, our most staple food is rice. Nigeria produces less than 10 million tons of unmilled rice. A tiny country like Bangladesh produces 60 million tons of unmilled rice, almost 10 times what Nigeria will produce. Bangladesh's size is 148,000 square kilometers. That is the size of Bangladesh. That is the size of our 2 biggest states. Niger State at 76.3 and Borno at 70.8 put together is 147,000. So these 2 states are about the size of Bangladesh, and Bangladesh have 170 million people. Is heavily dense. So we have the space. Today, we are having problem with Borno State because we have Sambisa Forest. Sambisa Forest is a land occupying area of 60,000 square kilometers. That's 3 times the size of Israel. Israel is exporting food. Israel is 22,000 square kilometers. If you times it by 3, 66. We have one state that is listening. We can produce food, but people don't want us to produce food. We can go on and on. Ethiopia is exporting tea, coffee. Everybody, Sierra Leone, small countries. We have Taraba, 54,000 square kilometers. We Mambila that can produce tea. Nobody is doing that. We are going to share oil money. Tiny countries like Netherlands produces 120 million tons, $120 billion euros of agricultural material. Without water, there are 33,000 square kilometers. Niger State is 76.3, so it's 2.5 times the size of Netherlands. I can go on and on. So we don't have any problem with poverty.
Okay.
What we have is that we need to move the country from consumption to production. When you have people stealing public money, let me tell you what you do. You kill entrepreneurship.
Okay.
Because people are making money without contributing anything. You kill professionalism because people are making money without producing anything. You kill hard work. That is it.
Okay.
So that is not that particular question. The next question I was asked particularly is issue of religion. Somebody mentioned issue of people being stronger than government. Nobody is stronger than government. It is the people in government that are allowing the rascality to continue. Otherwise, we have law, and nobody is above the law anywhere. Otherwise, let that person who is stronger than government even go to here and do it. They will arrest him, but they are here causing confusion. Okay. There's question of ethnicism. We don't have ethnic or religious problem. It is politicians that are dividing us. No tribe buys bread cheaper. No tribe buys food cheaper. It's politicians that are dividing us because we don't want to be divided. And finally, all is fair in politics. Yes, all is fair in politics because when people have broken the rules and everything, today in Nigeria, we have a situation where we are saying, what is our qualification to be president? None of you know. What is qualification to be president of Nigeria or governor? Nobody knows.
It's in the constitution.
No, it's in the constitution. Our own National Assembly said that forgery is not an offense in electoral matter. Our own assembly said that nothing is. So when we have a case of where we the leaders, a case of where lunatics have taken over the asylum and decided to cancel all laws that makes it work. So all is fair because that's what we need to sustain the rascality.
Governor Obi, I don't know if I heard you clearly. Did you say the National Assembly said funding is not? Is that what you said?
Forgery is not a...
Huh?
Yes.
Funding?
Forgery.
Forgery. Oh.
Forgery is no longer an offense in a electoral matter. So because of it now, we have all is fair. You can't have it anywhere.
No, Governor Peter Obi, I think let's put things in perspective. What they did to the Electoral Act was to say that non-qualification was no longer an election petitions matter.
That is forgery. That is it. Non-qualification. So there's no qualification. That means all is fair. All is fair is all is fair.
But it's still a criminal case.
No, it's an electoral matter.
Yeah.
In electoral matter. Yeah. If you remove it in electoral matter, why are you going to say it's a problem in another matter? We remove it where it needs to. The process through which people come into office is far more fundamental than what they do in that office.
Okay.
That's where we'll start.
Thank you.
Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you.